In today's video, I will be remaking one of SANCHEZAE's edit and showing how you can edit like him step by step in detail in Adobe After Effects. Okay, so before we actually begin, if you want to edit faster, then please make sure to check these two plugins from the description. I'll be using them quite a lot later in the video. The first thing you want to do is add tiles onto Eclipse. Keep all of the values to 4000 and for the tiles, change it to unfold. After that, just copy it and paste it on all of the other layers as well. I will be teaching you the shakes used by him at the beginning. So, create a node from the script. It will automatically trim to the size of the layer selected and even parent it with the lip now. Hit P on your keyboard to bring up the position and hold shift and press R to bring up the rotations as well. Click on the clock-like icon and make a keyframe. Change the rotation values to +6, then forward 6 frames and place keyframe for the position as well. But this time change these two to -100. Don't forget to separate the dimensions. Now, forward another 20 frames and change the X position to +100 and Y position to +35. Another 10 frames forward and change the X position to -200 and Y position to -100. Okay, so I think I forgot the rotation, so I'm just gonna forward 20 frames from the very beginning and change the rotation to -2. Just 3 frames away from the last position keyframe and again change it back to +6. Keep in mind that you do need to copy the same distance between the keyframes to make a precise shake. Now, highlight them and hit F9 on your keyboard to ease them. After that, you're free to change their placement for a unique seed. That will be our shake for all of the clips, so make sure you copy and paste them onto all the other layers as well. Okay, so after you've done the work of copying and pasting, we will add turbulent displays to our clip. Now, keyframe both the amount and the size. Then, move to the end of the clip and change the amount to 0 and size to somewhere between 300 to 500. The size completely depends on how strong you want the shake to be. I'm just gonna highlight them and hit F9 to ease. Well, after that, obviously copy and paste the same stuff in all of your layers where it feels necessary. Now for the effects, we'll begin with his eye glow. As you can see, I've already duplicated and masked his eye in the top layer. The next thing I want to do is make the mask a little more smoother, strictly cleaner. After that, add a fill effect on the top layer. But for the color, what you want to do is just change it to white. Finally, top it off with the As Rays by FIVERR plugin. And there you have it. Now that we're done with this one, let's move on to another effect. This should be basic, but let me go ahead and show the process to you. Press Ctrl and D on your keyboard to duplicate the layer. I'll just go ahead and rename the top layer. Now, I want the red bubbles to glow, so what I will do is just add a BCC linear color key and choose the red color. Now on the output though, select Composition Invert Alpha. What that will do is only keep the colors you select and remove other stuff. Now to actually make it glow, we're gonna add a deep glow. That just made everything disappear, right? So to fix that, click on the unmelt option. After that, change the radius and exposure as you please. Now, for our last effect, I want to add the speed overlay behind the character. So, I will obviously mask the character. But instead of doing a full and detailed mask, I'll draw a rough mask. I'll explain more of that later. But as of now, either keyframe the mask or split the layer and do it again. I personally prefer the second one, to be honest. After you've done that, press F to open up the feather and increase it excessively. Quite literally. And then sandwich the overlay between the mask and the normal clip. If you want, then obviously composite the clips a little more. Okay, with that we're done with the effects as well. And now let's move on to the transitions. So for making the transitions, I will animate the scale to go from 400 to the defaults. With SANCHEZAE style graph, the in drops are relatively smoother and I use the Flip plugin for making the graph. Check it out from the description. Now, what I will do is create another null layer, but this time with the opposite and animate the scale to go from 100 to like -20. The graph should be really tight, which is what I did. Now, again, I'm going to spice this up by adding another adjustment layer and a warp onto it. Keyframe the bend and move to just one from before the flip ends and change it all the way to -100. Change the graph mode to fisheye. Now I'm gonna highlight them and open up the graph editor. Change the graph type to value graph and make a basic out graph just like this. Now for another transition, freeze the first trim and the last trim sequentially. We did this to match the duration and overlap the clips. Now press Ctrl and D to duplicate both the clips, and for my ease I will rename both of the top layers so I can distinguish between them easily. You might have noticed that the transition is style based, so for that I'll just scale down the clip, something like that, and on the bottom layer of the clip I'm gonna add a CC reptile, but instead of changing all of the values to 4000, I'm just gonna change the expand left and right to 4000. Now to actually distinguish the clip from the main layer, we'll add a blur onto it. I used BCC, but you can even use the default ones. Just be sure to keep it low. Add another exposure as well and reduce the value. Now copy and paste these two effects on the bottom layer of the other clips as well. Okay, to make the top layer stand out even more, add a drop shadow on that. You can use any shadow, but I prefer the sapphire one. Make sure you copy that onto the bottom layer as well. Let's focus on the camera movement. Now create a camera layer by pressing Ctrl+Shift+C and use the add node script from earlier to make a few nodes. Okay, so hide the top clips, and on the bottom, move it towards the right so long as it cannot be seen. Just like that. Now, you can toggle off the unzip button, and after that select the first null layer and hit P on your keyboard. But this time, pull it so leftwards that the previous clip we moved away appears on the main screen. I personally use the proportional grid to make the scaling easier. Remember how we highlighted the top clip by shadowing and blurring? Well, this is how it comes in handy, as you can clearly see how visible the clips become. I think I'll also scale the clip to fill the black bars, because if you see the original edit, that's what he did over there. Highlight the keyframe, hit F9 on your keyboard to easy ease, and then select the graph editor. The marker is where we want the spike of the graph to be, and we won't be going easy, but rather making it stiff and tight. Do the same for the scale too, but the graph here seems upward down, right? But that simply does not matter, so for the graph make it relatively loose, and just like that, we're done with the camera transitions. Okay, so back to the main composition. Make a few nodes again for the transition through the add node script from earlier. Place 2 keyframes and in the beginning change it to 400. Your graphs should look similar to this. So above the main layer, press Ctrl+Alt+Y to create an adjustment layer, and I will trim it to the size of the layer below. Now I will use the FX Console plugin and use it to add an optics compensation on the adjustment layer. Hit the reverse lens distortion and keyframe the field of view. Make 2 keyframes and set the first one to somewhere between 100 to 120 and the last one to 0. Easy is the keyframes, and after that open up the graph editor. You don't want the graph to be tight but loose, so something like this should do absolutely fine. Now move to the end of the layer and place 2 keyframes and make an out transition. Rather than creating a new warp, you can just copy the whole adjustment layer and then press Alt, Ctrl and V together to paste the layer at the same time as you play ahead. Remember this as a trick, Ctrl, Alt and V. Now, since you know the pattern of making the normal transition, I'll skip the next one. Now let's move on to the eye transition. Many people kinda overcomplicate it, but to be honest, it's quite easy, and I will show you that in just a moment. But before that, take a look on how I did this fade transition. Open up position and scale. Put 2 keyframes and scale it all the way to 400. Now, change the position halfway up to the right side. Highlight them and through the flow plugin, make a loose graph. After that, select the actual clip and press T to pull up the opacity. And from the beginning to end, animate it from 100 to 0 with no graph. I did this step earlier on the other clip, whose making process is also quite similar to this one. Now above both the clip, create an adjustment layer and trim it to cover half segment of both the layer. Then add a directional blur on the layer. I used the one by BCC, but you can use any one you want. For the amount, you want it to be higher. Now place keyframes, animating it to go from 0 to 250 and again back to 0. Easy ease them by pressing F9 and open up the graph editor. But this time choose the speed graph. The next transition is a zoom in, but considering I already taught you the method, I think you will sort it out. So let's just move on to the eye transition. Over here the in transition is already made, so I'm just gonna focus on the out transition only, which is the eye transition. Duplicate the clip and make it exactly 1 frame long. Remember the effects we added in the beginning? Be sure to remove those as well. Even the shakes, and also remove the link with the notes too. Basically undress the clip. After that, freeze the duration and stretch it like 10 frames or so. Then mask the eye from where you want the transition. Now choose the mask mode to subtract or enable the inverted option. Either of them work perfectly fine. I want it to be a bit smoother, so maybe feather the mask a little bit too. Now open scale and position values of the overlap clip. Place the keyframes of default values and move it to the end. Now zoom the clips so much that the clip below the layer starts to get seen from the inverted mask. Use the position tool and keep zooming in. I hope you get the point of what I'm trying to achieve right here. Then easy ease only the keyframes at the end. Not mandatory, but it's like OCD for me. On the clip below, make a simple zoom out like we did before in other clips. If there is much movement, then you can track the layer. But again, we want it to be simple, so we don't care much. Open up the graph editor and make a mid graph, neither too stiff nor too smooth. After that, head to another clip and change the anchor point to the eye we masked earlier. Then use the scale to match the last frame of the clip with the mask and animate it to the false. Okay, so we are done with the transitions too. Now let's move on to shakes, but before that pre-compose all the layers into one for a cleaner work. Press Ctrl Alt Y to create an adjustment layer and match its timing to the clip beneath. Now change the speed to 30 and amount to 70. Head on to enable and then enable the slide. By the way, rather than copying the values, why don't you learn how to make your own shakes from my Twitch plugin tutorial after you watch this video. Okay, so after that, animate the twitch to 0, highlight them and easy ease to F9. The graph will obviously be tight and stiff. After that, duplicate the same clip and paste it above all clips. Just be sure to change the seed values as it will make each shake different from one another, although the main values will be the same. Last but certainly not the least, I will show you his color gradings. Add Looks plugin by Red Magic Bullet on a new adjustment layer. After that, select subject and add a pop onto it. Now change the preserve detail all the way up to 100 and keep the size as per your preference. Select lens and add a haze flare. I don't want it high, so I'll keep the value of spill low. That's it for this one. Now on the post, add a curve and yeah, just basically mess with it. Not gonna lie, it already seems good enough. Again, back to the lens and add its softness. Seems like I forgot to add that one earlier. So what you want to do with this is keep the center as per your clip. You can see mine as a reference. Now keep the quality all the way up to 10, and for the blur size, keep it somewhere between 5 and 10. Finally, add hue saturation and increase the saturation, and yeah, it's done. Now to complete an edit like him, his SFX is pivotal, so make sure to watch this video about SFX and audio editing from right here.